Okay, so today we are simplifying radicals with variables. We're only going to do 3 examples, and then I'll pass back your tests. It'll be a great day. Okay, when I'm looking for perfect squares, if I'm talking about variables, okay, this is specifically what I mean here. In terms of variables, things will be perfect squares, or exponents would be perfect squares if they are multiples of 2. Hopefully that makes sense. They would be perfect cubes if they are multiples of 3. Exponents would be perfect fourths if they were multiples of 4. I'm going to do this the exact same way I did yesterday. So if you remember, I had like the perfect and the leftover. So we're going to focus on one thing at a time. We'll write, just like yesterday, perfect leftover. Okay, 32. I need you to take a moment and make sure you're looking. This is a square root because there's not a number in the index. It's implied that it's a 2. It's a square root. What's the largest perfect square that 32 divides by? Look at the square column. It's 16. 32 divided by 16 is what? 2. Okay. 16 times 2 is 32. 16 is the perfect one. 2 is the leftover what you get when you divide by 16. Are you with me there? Okay, next one. Now we're going to look at x to the fourth. This is what's new today. X to the fourth is a perfect square if it's a multiple of 2. The exponent, I mean. Is 4 a multiple of 2? It is. So that means that x to the fourth is a perfect square. So you're going to put it in the left side because that's the perfect side. If you have colors, it's a great day to use them. Okay, y to the ninth is 9. Looking at the exponent, is 9 divisible by 2? No. So what is the highest multiple that would fit into 9 that is divisible by 2? What's the next closest number? 8. Okay, watch what I do, please. I think you're going to catch on. Y to the 8th is a perfect square because 8 divides by 2. How many would be left over? 1. Because I had y to the 9th, I'm splitting it up. 8 of them would make a perfect square with 1 left over. Just like yesterday, you evaluate now on the left side. So one thing at a time, the square root of 16 is 4. Okay, exponents, we will add this to the top here, okay? Here's how we need to think about exponents. The variables are different, so you need to divide the exponents by the index. The index meaning the number in the little crook, okay? Divide the exponents by the index. So here, this is a square root. So it has an index of 2. It's invisible because that's the easiest one, and we don't need to write 2 because we know what square roots are. So now I'm going to take 4. I'm going to divide him by 2. That would give me x squared. The square root of x to the fourth is x squared. What is the square root of y to the 8th? Divide 8 by, remember there's a 2 here. 8 divided by that 2. 4. If you have no idea why that works, here's why. Okay, I'll put it out the side. Y to the fourth times y to the fourth is equal to y to the 8th. Or in other words, y to the fourth squared is y to the 8th. Okay? Oh, okay. The leftover just comes down. 2y. Yeah, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4.
Why is it that you only put the 1
because 8 plus 1, you took out 8 of them because those would be perfect, and then there would be 1 left over because I'm trying to get to y to the 9th. I'm splitting up the y to the 9th. 8 plus 1, 9.
Oh, because they all
Yep. Yep. These will take forever. 12? Yeah. Okay, notice now we are dealing with a cube root. So pay attention to your index because that matters. So again, we'll set it up as what's perfect and what's left over, okay? My pro tip for you is make sure that the number in your index is small, so you don't think that you're trying to like multiply by that number, because we're not. So leftover, can you please look at your perfects chart? I need the largest perfect that 216 divides by. We're going to evaluate it in a second. I'm not going to evaluate it right now, okay? 216 is perfect, so I'm going to put it on the left side because that entire thing is perfect. I don't need to divide it up. R to the 8 is next, so is 8 divisible by the index? 3. No. But what you need the next closest? 6. Okay, 6 would be divisible. So R to the 6 is a perfect square. How many do you have left over? 2, because you were trying to add up to 8. Same thing with S to the 4th. 4 is not divisible by 3, but what's the next closest? 3 with 1 left over. So we're going to put 3 on the left because that's perfect, 1 on the right. Okay, you guys already told me the answer. Cube root of 216 is 6. Oh, wrong color. Okay, 6. And remember, you're dividing the 6 divided by 3. So give me r squared. 3 divided by 3. S to the first, or you can just put S. It doesn't matter to me. I'll probably just put S. Okay, and then cube root of this one stays. These are not perfect, and so you cannot evaluate them. So technically, do you need the S to the first? No. You could get rid of that. So just that. Does this make sense? Kind of. What did I do? I blacked it out. Okay, there you go. Last one we're going to do, and then I'll pass back your tests, is scoot, 15. So this time we've got a 4th root. We're going to ignore the 5 out in front for now. Just pretend like it's not a bother. We'll deal with it at the end, kind of like if you had a GCS. All right, let's break this up. Okay, 4th root. Again, pay attention to what kind of root you have because that tells you what column you need to look in. And 4th root leftover. Okay, look at your chart. I need the perfect 4th. Don't yell it out right away. Let people try and find it. I want the perfect 4th that 48 divides by. There's not that many options. Okay, what is it? 16. And if I do 48 divided by 16, what do I get? 3. Okay. Moving on. 14. Is 14 divisible by this index of 4? Does it divide evenly? No. But what's the next closest number that would?
3.
Out of 14, 12. Okay? You're trying to take as many as possible that would be as divisible by 4. So 12 is the next closest to, remember we're looking at 14. 14. Okay, with how many left over? 2. And now n to the 3rd. Is 3 divisible by 4? No. Is there a next closest one that I could take? 2 doesn't count. No, because you get a decimal. So, nope, it's not perfect. You can't split it up. So it actually just stays on the right side. Okay, everything on the left here, remember, is perfect. Another pro tip, make sure you always put the perfect stuff on the left because that's where it needs to end up whenever you're evaluating anyways, okay? Wait to evaluate until you actually have split everything up. Okay, not square root, be careful. 4th root of 16. Look at your chart. What is the 4th root of 16?
2.
Yeah, you're not dividing the big numbers. The big numbers you have to evaluate with your chart. You can divide here. That is m to the 3rd. And everything over here is left over, so it just stays. 3m squared n to the 3rd. This is stuff that's not perfect. So perfect, not perfect. Are we done? No. because there was that 5 out in front. So bring it back. And your final answer is actually this 10m to the third fourth root of 3m squared n to the third. Beautiful. Okay, again, exponents, the reason why I'm telling you to divide is because when you do properties of exponents, you multiply, if it's raised to a power, sorry. So for example, on this one, just to prove it to you, again, if I do this, m to the third times m to the third times m to the third times m to the third, I add all those up, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, that does give me m to the 12, which is why I'm telling you you need to divide it, okay? Just make sure that you're being careful and you're not dividing the big numbers, the coefficients. Great.